G'day legends, welcome back to Max Power Cardboard Collectibles. Hope you guys are all doing well out there and welcome back to another edition of Show Us Your Tips. It's Wednesday the 22nd of May and we are here to get into the tips for round 11. It is crazy, we're halfway through the season already, halfway through the year already nearly. It's nearly full-blown winter and it has not rained in Perth. I don't know, it seems like for like 6 months. It's crazy, it's crazy. It's still like 25 degrees and sunny here. No complaints, but also, you know, we need water to survive, so it's also a little bit worrying. But hey, we're not here to dissect the weather. We're here to talk about football, and that is what we are going to do. But just before we get stuck into that, guys, if you haven't checked out the Brilliance video, make sure you get around that one on the YouTube, and also jump over on the Insta. We did an Instagram exclusive Brilliance opening over on that one, and yeah, look, it was a bit of a flop, to be honest. But look, I'm still trying to figure out. I guess I'm still figuring out like where the audience is. Like, you know, a lot of people who watch on YouTube might not necessarily be on Insta and vice versa. So, I don't know, get around it. It's a good time. Links to that downstairs in the description. You guys know that stuff by now if you are a long-time watcher of the channel. Also, a little bit of business. We are nearing very close to 300 subscribers. Big milestone. Well, I mean, you know, not really, but, you know, it'd be really cool if we could get there by the end of the financial year. Not that the financial year means much to me, being a tradesperson, but yeah, look, we got what, about 6 weeks? If we could rip it to 300 by the end of June, that would be fantastic. So yeah, if you're a new viewer, make sure you get around it. I will be doing some sort of milestone opening. I've got a fair bit of sealed product kicking around, so yeah, when we hit that 300 subscriber mark, we'll do a video. I got some legacy. I got some Supremacy Rookie. I got some Hobby from this year. I still got Kmart starters. I've got NBA stuff. Might have to pick up some Pokemon stuff as well. I feel like it has been forever since we've opened some TCG on the channel. So, yeah, look, if that all sounds good to you, make sure you smash that subscribe button, like the video, get involved in the comments, all that good stuff. So, yeah, look, let's get stuck into the tips. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have got some absolute cracking games going on this week, and we are kicking things off on Thursday night with the Dogs taking on the Sydney Swans, the flag fancies at Marvel Stadium. And genuine question, who can stop the Swans? Look, I think it could be the Dogs. Look, they had a pretty bloody good win last week against the Giants. Not sure what's going on with the Giants. We'll get to them later. But look, as much as I'd love to say that this is going to be an upset that is, you know, something that we should be tipping, and it looks like with the bell curve here on Squiggle that a lot of people are sort of thinking this is going to be a very close game, and I'm no different. Look, the Swans haven't really done anything to make me think that they're going to lose this game. There's no form issues. There's no injury issues. And, you know, the Dogs have been pretty up and down all year. Look, the only thing going in the Dogs' favour for me is that this game is at Marvel. It's not at the SCG. Sydney seem to be a pretty good side anywhere, though. They feel they've got a real anywhere, anytime, anyone sort of mentality. But look, if the Dogs can get their game going at Marvel, they are a chance to upset the Swans here. That being said, do I think they're going to do it? No, I don't. Look, Swans are flag fancies for a reason. They are the favourites. They've been the best side this year, and it is absolutely crazy to me that the only game they have lost has been to the lowly Richmond Tigers. But look, I think this is going to be a closer game than maybe most people think it's going to be. I think the Dogs will. I think they're at least going to show up. Thursday night football at Marvel. But look, I got the Swans in a close one. Gonna lock the Swans in by, let's say, 2 goals. I do think it is going to be a nice close game, so we'll lock that one in now, and we'll move over to Friday night footy, and we have got Yellup taking on the Pies at Optus Stadium over here in the West. The Pies have got their 8 business class seats and they're making their yearly pilgrimage over to Western Australia. Look, this is going to be an absolute ripper of a game, and I honestly have no idea who to pick. Look, Yellup dominated St Kilda last week, and if it wasn't for some pretty bad kicking at goal, they would have really blown them out of the park, probably by about 10 goals. Really, it was the only thing that saved the Saints from an absolute spanking last week. On the other hand, the Pies, you know, they were okay. They got the job done at home against the Crows last week, but it did take until the last couple of minutes to really lock that result in. And look, again, look, it looks like a lot of people are tipping Freo in this one, but I'm actually going to go the other way. I'm going to keep showing faith in the Pies. I do think they are the only team that can probably knock the Swans off at the end of the year. So I'm going to lock the Pies in a close one, though. I think it is going to be a close game, and that also plays into why I'm going with the Pies. I think we all know how the history that Collingwood have getting up in close games, and I think this will be another. Let's lock them in by 8 points. I think that seems about fair, and we'll move on to the first game on a Saturday where we have got North taking on Yatapulti at Bluntstone Arena on Saturday morning. Look, pretty simple one here. I would have thought Yatapulti to get the job done by a fair margin. Now, the only thing that I think that'll keep this close will be if the weather in Tassie is absolutely insane and both teams just really struggle to score. But look, I also think you could play this game on Neptune and it wouldn't really have that big a result effect on the result. Excuse me. Look, I don't think Port want to get ahead of themselves though this week. I think they were very lucky to get away with a win against the lowly Hawks last week. And look, I just think they're going to come angry. I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to rock up to another game and not switched on 100%. And I think that is going to be the theme of their week, is just getting to the game, be switched on. You know, go hard from the first bounce. And yeah, look, I think they get the job done pretty bloody easily here. I think. Look, if it's wet, 6 goals. If it's dry, probably 600, to be honest. But we'll lock him in by 6 goals. Like I said, playing down in Tassie always has its little nuances that make the games a bit different to other places. So yeah, Yatapulti by 6 goals over the Roos. And then we're moving on to the next game. We have got Carlton taking on the Gold Coast Suns in another absolute cracker of a game here. I think this will be a bit of a bounce back game for the Blues. Look, I love what the Suns are doing at the moment. I'm definitely on board with them making the 8 this year. But look, I think if there's one team they probably don't want to play with, not a bad backline like Sam Collins, Charlie Ballard, all these guys, they're not bad defenders at all. In fact, the Suns defensive unit is quite good. However, none of them really seem to have the height and strength that I think can really go with a Harry Mackay or a Charlie Curnow. So look, for that reason, I think as long as Carlton can break even in the midfield battle, they should get the job done here in a relatively close game again. I'm going to tip them by 10 points. I think that seems pretty fair. Although I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if they do start to take a bit of a stranglehold in the middle, if this lead does blow out to be a bit of a bigger margin than that. All right, moving on to the next game on Saturday, and we've got Geelong taking on the Saints on Saturday afternoon at GMHBA Stadium. I tell you what, I really did break Geelong, didn't I? Classic me. Look, both of these teams seem to have struggled a bit in recent times, and I honestly have no idea who we're going to tip here, so I figured we'd flip a coin for it. So I got a coin here. This is it, a nice little 20-cent coin here. We're going to go heads for the Giants, and we're going to go tails for Geelong, because that just seems to make more sense to me. Let's get it done. That's the call. So it is a head. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. That is a head in a very old, dirty, trashy looking coin there. So we're going to go with the Giants. It's going to be close. So we flipped a coin. And let's say it definitely isn't going with the majority of what people think. But the Giants by 2 goals to get the job done over the Cats in Geelong. All right, moving on to the next game here, and we have got the Tigers versus the Bombers on Saturday night at the MCG. Where would you rather be? Dreamtime at the G. This is going to be an absolute belter. Well, actually, let's be honest. The game itself probably isn't going to be that great. It would seem that the Tigers are the new West Coast at the moment. Look, if you did watch my preseason prediction video, I did sort of say that I felt like Richmond were in the same space that West Coast were in 2021, right before the arse fell out of the footy club. And look, it seems like this is becoming a reality for Richmond, and look, that's okay. They got 3 flags and were amazing in getting them. Look, what goes up must come down, right? I think that's fair. And right now the Tigers are down. Credit to the Bombers though, they are a good side, and I think they will get this one done pretty easily. I think it's going to be probably a close to 10 goal margin. I'm going to lock them in by 50 points. All right, we're moving on to Sunday football now, and we are kicking it off with Hawthorn taking on Brisbane at Marvel. Oh, Hawks fans. That must have been an absolute prick of a watch that last quarter last week. I have no idea how that result ended up going the way it did. I mean, Zach Butters had a huge part to play in that. I watched the whole last quarter of that game, and you could tell they were just holding on. And look, I think a lot's been spoken about, Sam Mitchell sort of playing to hold on to a win rather than, telling the boys to play to score and all that sort of stuff. And look, I mean, 30 seconds, you thought they were home and hosed easy, but it wasn't to be. It was not to be. Look, unfortunately, I don't think it gets any easier for the Hawks this year. Lions beat Richmond by 100-odd points last week. And look, I don't think they're going to thrash the Hawks in that sense. I do feel like even though the result last week for the Hawks wasn't great, I do feel like they have turned a bit of a corner in the last few weeks. Obviously, they've won a couple of games. They've looked a bit better doing it. But look, I don't think this is the week they get the job done and pull a big upset. I think Brisbane are going to be the team to beat here, and I'm going to lock them in by about 6 goals. I think that sort of feels fair. Brisbane are looking pretty good at the moment. And then we're moving on to the second game on Saturday. We've got Nam taking on Euro Iraq in at the MCG. I actually thought this one was at Marvel, funnily enough. All right, so look, Nam got their pants pulled down by the second coming of Jesus Christ last week. How bloody good was that? We'll get into that at the next game. But look, I assume that they are going to come out firing. They're going to be angry. That was a game they definitely should not have lost to a bottom 4 side. That is for sure. Look, I'm not sure what's going on with the Saints, to be honest. I feel like they're almost like the new Essendon. They're kind of really hard to pick. And I didn't really realize until last week how bad they're actually going. It feels like it's all gone tits up for them, pretty much. Look, there's not really much to look forward to in this game. I think the Gawn and Marshall matchup is going to be the one thing that most people are going to be pretty excited to watch. I am definitely one of those people. But look, I think that's going to be the only real thing worth watching in what's going to be a pretty one-sided affair. And I'm going with the crowd here. I've got Melbourne by 6 goals, getting it done. And then we're moving over. We have got Gowana taking on Watlich Marawa at Adelaide Oval on a Sunday arvo. All hail the one true king, Harley Reid. How good was that? How good was that? 3 votes, Harley Reid. Put it in your notebooks now. Look, West Coast are getting better by the week. West Coast are getting better by the week. And look, this week they're coming up against another team who is on the improve. Crows had a pretty rough start to the year, but they've been showing many signs over the last few weeks that they are definitely recapturing that form that saw them, narrowly miss finals last year. Look, yeah, bad result for the Crows last week. Regardless of what you think of the Isaac Rankin run too far, I personally think it was the right call. He ran too far. Yes, you can say, look, they don't call that enough, and that's true, but, 2 wrongs don't make a right. That's just my opinion. That is just my opinion. The correct call was made. Yes, did it suck? Yes, do Adelaide fans have a right to feel like they've been dogged a fair bit by the umps over the last sort of 6 to 8 months? Absolutely. No one's arguing with that, especially not me. But yeah, look, that's footy, right? That's just footy. Look, this is going to be a very interesting game. As much as, the crowd obviously think here that Adelaide is actually going to smash Watlich Marawa, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think the Eagles are going to win. Look, historically, we play Adelaide Oval pretty well, but just with where we're at the moment, I don't think our home form is really translating into our away form. And as much as we do play Adelaide Oval very well, I think that sort of home versus away form really just comes around everything else. So it's making the trip, it's going to the airport, sleeping in the hotels. And I think with a younger group, just sort of getting them into that routine and, letting them find their routines that make it work for them is going to take a little bit of time. So yeah, look, I do think Adelaide get the job over my boys this weekend, but it should be a good game. When Harley's playing, it's always a good game to watch. Am I right or am I right? But look, I think it's going to be a lot closer than what most people think. So I am locking in the Crows by 15. Yeah, I think that seems fair. 15 points for the Crows. Guys, that is it for the tips this week. Thanks for tuning in once again. Look, in terms of card content, look, I don't know what we're going to be doing next. Obviously, keep an eye on the shorts. Been doing a lot of team coach and quick rip stuff over on the short. Don't forget, guys, if you are new to the channel and you are enjoying the content, let's get us to that 300 subscriber mark. It would mean a lot to me to get that done in the next 6 weeks. That would be fantastic. And then, we'll hit the ground running with some series 2. Like I said, I'm still holding on to a bit of stock for some other things. So if we do hit that milestone, we'll do a big opening as well. So all right, that's it for me for this week, guys. We'll see you again real soon. Hope you guys are well. Good luck with your tips, good luck with your fantasy, your super coach. Maybe have a cheeky punt over the weekend, but if you do, make sure you do so responsibly, and don't be a dickhead on Facebook banging on about why is it called Guruma, it's bloody Adelaide, or oh, this is a bloody AFL woke agenda. Save me the bullshit. Jesus Christ, enjoy it for what it is. Learn a little bit about your local Indigenous population and some language, and just it's Australian history. So fuck me, get around it. All right, we'll see you next week.